We all, we all know about the big sins in Islam: stealing, lying, committing zina, drinking alcohol. But what about the ones that are so subtle and so common that they slip into our daily lives unnoticed? Sins that don't make headlines, that people around us don't talk about. But in the sight of Allah, they can be just as dangerous to our hearts and our hereafter. Today, in this video, I want to share 5 hidden sins that many Muslims commit without even realizing they are sins. Each of these is backed by clear evidence from the Quran and authentic hadith, and I guarantee by the end of this video, you'll start noticing them all around you, maybe even in yourself, and insha'Allah, you'll also know how to protect yourself from them. 1. Suspecting without proof. Su'uz zan. One of the most dangerous diseases of the heart is suspicion. Su'uz zan point. Allah directly warns us in the Quran in Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 12. O you who have believed, avoid much suspicion. Indeed, some suspicion is sin, and do not spy or backbite each other. Notice the wording. Allah doesn't just say some suspicion is wrong. He says some suspicion is sin. This means that even if we never speak it out loud, the mere act of assuming the worst about a fellow Muslim without any evidence is recorded as a sin in our book of deeds. For example, you see a brother talking to someone privately and you think, he must be saying something bad about me. Or you see a sister with someone and immediately assume something immoral. That assumption, that little voice in your head, is not harmless. Ibn Kathir explains in his tafsir that such suspicion poisons the heart, plants hatred, and leads to other sins like gossip and slander. The Prophet warned us that a believer should always give their brother or sister the benefit of the doubt. Imam Ash-Shafi said, if you hear something from your brother that you dislike, try to find from 1 to 70 excuses for him. If you cannot find an excuse, then say, maybe he has an excuse I do not know. This is the mindset of a believer, to protect people's honor, not to stain it in your mind. 2. Listening to gossip without stopping it. We all know backbiting is haram. But here's the hidden part. You don't even have to open your mouth to share in the sin. Simply sitting there and willingly listening to gossip makes you a partner in it. The Prophet said, the backbiter will not enter paradise. Abu Dawud, 4874. Imam al-Nawawi explains in Riyadh as-Salihin that the listener of gossip is equal to the one who speaks it if they approve of it or enjoy it. This is where many people fall. You're in a group, someone starts talking about a brother or sister, and you stay quiet because you don't want to make things awkward. You think, I didn't say anything, so I'm safe. But the truth is, silence in this situation is silent approval. Allah commands in the Quran that when we hear sinful speech, we should either stop it or leave the gathering. And when you hear Allah's verses being denied or ridiculed, do not sit with them until they engage in another conversation. Surah An-Nisa, 440. This doesn't mean you have to be confrontational every time. Sometimes you can change the subject or excuse yourself politely. The point is, your ears are also accountable on the day of judgment. Pride in the heart, kibr. Pride, or kibr, is one of the deadliest hidden sins because it can exist without a single word or action, purely in the heart. The Prophet defined arrogance as rejecting the truth and looking down on people. Sahih Muslim 91. You don't have to walk around like a pharaoh to be arrogant. You can be humble in speech, but still carry the thought, I'm better than him because I have more knowledge. Or, I'm a better Muslim than her because I pray more. The Prophet gave a terrifying warning. No one who has an atom's weight of arrogance in his heart will enter paradise. Sahih Muslim 91. Arrogance was the very reason Iblis was cursed, not because he refused to pray or fast, but because he thought, I am better than Adam. Pride can creep in over beauty, wealth, intelligence, nationality, even religious practice. That's why Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu said, lower your gaze from looking at the faults of people, and instead turn your gaze toward your own faults. 4. Wasting water while making wudu. This one might surprise you. How can using extra water be a sin? Isn't that harmless? The Prophet once saw Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas making wudu and using more water than necessary. He said, What is this extravagance, O Sa'd? Sayyid replied, Can there be extravagance in wudu? The Prophet said, Yes, even if you are by a flowing river. Ibn Majah 425. The Quran condemns wastefulness. Indeed, the wasteful are brothers of the devils. Surah Al-Isra 17-27. Most of us open the tap full blast during wudu, letting liters of water flow away for each limb. Not only is this against the Sunnah, it's a sin of israfu, extravagance. The Prophet would perform a full wudu with just one mud of water, about 650 milliliters. Conserving water is not just about environmental responsibility, it's obedience to Allah and following the Sunnah.
Rejoicing at someone's misfortune. This is perhaps the most hidden of them all. Feeling happiness in your heart when someone you dislike suffers. This is known as Schadenfreude in English, but in Islam, it's a clear spiritual disease. The Prophet ﷺ said, Do not rejoice over the misfortune of your brother, lest Allah have mercy on him and test you instead. Jami at-Tirmizi 2506. Even if that person wronged you, Islam teaches us to avoid gloating over their pain. Why? Because the one who feels joy at the downfall of others has a heart full of envy and resentment, and these traits destroy your own peace. Al-Fudail ibn Iyad, a great scholar, said, The believer conceals and advises, while the wicked person exposes and humiliates. A believer feels compassion even for an enemy, leaving justice to Allah. So my dear brothers and sisters, these 5 sins, suspicion without proof, listening to gossip, pride in the heart, wasting water, and rejoicing at someone's misfortune, may seem small because they're invisible to the world. But remember, Allah knows what is in the hearts, and nothing escapes His knowledge. The danger of hidden sins is that they often go unrepented because we don't even realize we've committed them. That's why the Prophet, peace be upon him, would regularly make the dua, O Allah, forgive me for my sins, those I know and those I do not know. Sahih Muslim 27:19. Let's purify not just our actions, but our thoughts, intentions, and hidden habits. Because the Day of Judgment isn't just about what people saw, it's about what Allah saw, both inside and out. Jazakallahu khairan for watching, and may Allah protect us all from the sins we see and the sins we don't.